everyone. I'm Devln Reiley here for another episode of Reiley's Roundup. We have Renee Di Paola, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We have such a special guest. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and she has some very exciting news on how you can help support the community with an event. And I don't know if there's some other events going on, but welcome to the show, Renee.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, no, I'm so excited. I know that we were connected by another previous guest, Anita. So, Anita, thank you so much. But I want to get right into it. So, I know we talked a little bit before the show, but you weren't like a Fredericksburgian, what do we call ourselves? But you came from South Carolina. What brought you to Fredericksburg?
Well, actually, I'm a 10-year veteran of the United States Navy.
Wow.
And prior to coming to Fredericksburg, I was stationed and lived in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And when I finished my tour, myself and my family, we decided to move up to the Fredericksburg area because I had taken a job in Washington, D.C.
You know, we find that a lot of people that may not want to live right inside the city, that Fredericksburg is such a great area. I know the commute can be really tough. Yes. But now they have that HOV lane, and it's still a long commute, but Fredericksburg has really grown into such a nice place for people to really like have a family and grow their family here. So
Absolutely.
How long have you been here now?
Well, I've been in the Fredericksburg area since 2004.
Wow.
So approximately 16 years.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And you do, as your primary job, you are an IT specialist?
I am an IT specialist.
Okay. So what kind of brought us together was, right now, I would say it's a passion. You were called upon.
Yes.
To do something so big for the breast cancer community. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. I was called upon to do something for breast cancer survivors and warriors. It was intended to be locally. However, we have spanned out to other parts of the United States, in other areas, a few international members and survivors that we have as well. So in doing something, I did not know what to do. And I said, however, I know that we need to bring awareness to the community, and it would be nice if we could celebrate them, survivors and warriors, at the same time. So I came up with Breast Friends.
Which I see, I have it pulled up right here, Shondell. I don't know if you can, there is a Facebook page, and it is Breast Friends, and it's got a beautiful, I don't want to call it a logo because it's something, it symbolizes something so much more, but it's such a beautiful picture there of hope.
Yes, and so what we decided to do was bring awareness to breast awareness to the community, and again, gift to survivors and warriors. So we came up with Gift a Day giveaway, which initially was going to be 31 days or gifts for 31 women or men who is battling breast cancer or have survived breast cancer. Well, that was the start of it. Now we have decided that we are going to gift 2 people a day for the entire month of October. So that's 62 gifts for 31 days for 62 people.
Is it just 62 people here, or is it 62 people across the United States or globally?
It is 62 people across the United States, and a few that is actually international.
That's amazing. So what are you gifting them?
So we have a couple of gifts. We are gifting totes, Pink Survivor totes, as well as tumblers. We are also gifting Yankee candles, pink Yankee candles. We are gifting gift cards from the community, as well as Visa and MasterCard gift cards. So our survivors or warriors can purchase something that they may need or want, as well as volunteers that are donating their goods or services or talents. I actually have a few friends who have gifted these gorgeous baskets of things that they think a survivor or a warrior could use or need, as well as another friend of mine who actually has knitted a throw and some infinity scarves.
Oh my gosh. So you're taking in donations from people in the community?
Absolutely.
Well, if anyone's listening right now that would like to donate, how would they get in contact with you?
Well, simply visit us on our Facebook page. That's always open, is open to the public. Or they can contact us at pinksurvivor2, the number 2, at gmail.com.
Or 2. We'll put that up on the screen for you. That's fantastic. I think I know of a few places that would actually like to participate in this and potentially, give some more donations to these. I love how you say it. Survivors, but also warriors.
Yes.
Why warriors?
Warriors are women typically, I feel, that are battling.
Yeah.
They're not in that survivor stage yet. They're still at war with this awful disease.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about your history with experiencing in your family breast cancer. Could you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Absolutely. Back in the spring of 2008, I had actually gone home for a visit with my family in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And my mom's oldest sister, I went to visit her, and she asked me, she said, could you come here? She said, I want to show you something. And I said, sure.
Yeah.
And whenever I got to her room to where she was, she opened her robe and she said, do you know what this could be? There was a lump there. It was visible.
Yeah.
And not being knowledgeable
right.
about breast cancer, I said, I don't know, but I think you should go see a doctor. And she said, yes. But keep in mind my aunt, Carolyn, she wasn't a person that fancied doctors or medication. So she says, well, I'll call your mom, she says, and I'll ask her to take me to the doctor to see her doctor because I trust her and I trust her physician. Well, my mom did take her. They did do x-rays and unfortunately she was already at stage 4 and she did not live through the summer.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, it's so tragic, and I think what you're doing now is just so important, especially in our community, because there are now more resources to try to detect early and prevent. So although you're supporting the women who have been able to survive and are still lucky enough to battle, I say lucky enough to battle that they're still living, but they even afterwards, the rest of their life is going to be different. So
absolutely,
but you're also creating awareness and keeping it in the front of our mind that, hey, you got to stay on top of this. Don't get caught up in life and just let things fall back. If you yearly exams, detecting early is so important. So what you're doing now is just keeping that pace and keeping up with what, our community is trying to provide the resources for. So
absolutely, and the biggest thing is 1 in 8 women, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer throughout her lifetime.
Wow.
Over 200,000 women in the United States alone this year will be diagnosed with breast cancer. 42,000 of those women will not survive. This is why it's so important that we bring awareness to our communities. Do self-breast examination. First and foremost, get a mammogram. Get a mammogram. And sadly, a lot of women, they don't experience any symptoms. And this is for no other reason else. This is why it's so important
Right.
to get a mammogram.
And to stay on top of that yearly, and if there's something that feels off, don't be afraid to go to a doctor.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know people have views of seeking medical help. Some people, even when diagnosed, I've known a few people that were diagnosed and they chose alternative routes aside from medicine. It's all our own journey.
Absolutely.
But just try to, the detection early is the most important
It's
part,
key.
right?
It's key. It's key.
So tell us about your walk. How did that come about?
The walk. Actually, my ambassador and I, we were at gifting. We went out last Saturday to gift the survivors. And we were informed by the survivor's husband that the Susan G. Komen walk in Texas this year was canceled. And he said, I would still like to walk. No matter what, I would still like to walk. I said, if you would like, send me the information and we will post it on our Breast Friends page. And maybe people in our community can come out and join your family in the 3-day walk.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
Okay, so is that an event that's on Facebook right now?
It's not an event that's on Facebook. However, you can find the details on our Breast Friends page listed under events.
Okay.
And you'll see where the days that are set up. It actually began today and it will run through Sunday.
Okay.
And there are actually times or different sessions that is scheduled to walk and where to walk.
Okay, so there are different parks or locations throughout the community that people can walk through or walk throughout the entire weekend?
Yes.
Okay, neat. So that's on the Breast Friends page that's on Facebook. They can find all of that information.
Yes.
Okay, so for the upcoming, because you just seem like someone who's not just going to do this one time, the upcoming years, do you have plans for this to expand or grow into anything?
Actually, I do. The intent was to be a 1 year, 1 month thing, 1 year campaign.
Yeah.
However, what I'm finding, so many survivors are willing to share their stories. And Breast Friends has become an outlet for women to support other women, for survivors to support other survivors. It cannot be a 1 year, 1 month thing. We must spread awareness throughout the year and year after year.
Because it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
The residual effects and the pain and the mental anguish doesn't just stop and come back in October. They deal with it every day. Wow.
Every single day.
So if somebody wants to be a part of your team, be a part of any event, donate, just have their hands at all in any way, shape or form, they just go to Breast Friends and contact you there.
Yes, or again,
the Gmail.
They can visit us. They can send us an email on our Gmail address, pinksurvivor2@gmail.com.
That's fantastic. I'm so excited that Anita, we crossed paths because of Anita, and digging into how you knew Anita kind of got into another part to kind of know you better. So tell us a little bit about how you know Anita.
Well, my husband is actually the owner of Impasto Italian Bakery in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And my husband and Anita work very close and alongside one another.
And you had a really interesting story, and I'd like for you to share it if you don't want to. But just trying to get to know you better, I found out how you and your husband met.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, of course, my husband is very known in the communities. He actually serviced a lot of restaurants throughout the area. However, a few years ago, 3 years ago, my husband was actually looking for something smaller, a place smaller to live. He was downsizing. I had a full empty basement that I did not mind renting out. My husband decided to, a stranger at that point, decided to rent out the basement. And almost a year and a half later, we began dating.
And it was, you were heavy deep into the books, right? And you were getting your master's?
I was getting my master's in psychology.
So that year just was, you kind of passed each other by and said hello. And then one night, did you go somewhere downtown?
We actually went somewhere downtown.
Are you going to share it with us?
We went to Capitol Ale House.
It all started at
great
atmosphere.
Great atmosphere.
You just needed a night off from the books, and you said, hey, let's go have a drink, and that's where the love sprouted.
That's absolutely where the love
Capitol
sprouted.
Ale. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Oh, it's been such a great conversation. I loved getting to know you. If there are people out there listening, someone that has either been impacted, they are a warrior or a survivor, they have family members, or just, is there anything you'd like to leave them with? Go ahead.
Yes. For women in our community, men who are not exempt, the best way that you can combat breast cancer and provide awareness to our community, please, please, please get your mammogram. Know your family history. It matters. And do self-breast examinations. These are things that can help us combat breast cancer. These are things that can help bring awareness in our communities. These are the things that can lower our numbers until there's a cure.
Yeah. Just this kind of, it brought up 6 years ago, my aunt passed away from breast cancer, and it was, from what we knew, it was because she didn't, at that time, maybe keep up with the yearly exam. And she fought one hell of a fight, but it's such a nasty beast to watch someone have to go through. And so I'm so happy you came on. I hope this continues to create awareness. I'm so excited about, watching what Breast Friends will turn into and what it could be in the future. We have a great community here, and we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. Well, thank you so much. We will be back next week with another episode of Reiley's Roundup, but please be sure to go on Facebook and like and follow Breast Friends.